Well, hi guys, and welcome to Mrs. C's Virtual Music Room. And welcome to part 2 of blues. So in part 1, just last week, we looked at 3 notes. We looked at A. Remember to play the A, cover the hole at the back, the first 2 at the front. Make sure those holes are sealed. Listen. Your turn. How was that? Again. We also learnt a G. That was our second note. And to play a G, the hole at the back and the first 3 holes at the front. Listen. Your turn. How was that? Again. And if you were learning the harder part, we also looked at D. With that. Now to play a D, hole at the back, and then walk your fingers down. Your turn. This is the one that you're most likely to make a squeak on, so do double check that those holes are sealed. Remember the hole at the back, walk the fingers down. Do a visual check that you've sealed those holes. Don't forget it's your left hand that goes on top. Listen again. Your turn. How was that? So let's recap. We did the A. We did the G. And we did the D. Let's do a play along like we did last week with those 3 notes, okay? So if last week you played the 2-note part, have a real try this week and see if you can get the 3 notes, get the D in there as well. And I want you to follow that Mrs. C. Say hi. Hi. This Mrs. C, she's going to do something silly, okay? Are you ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Ready? Again. Here we go. How did you do? Are you ready to learn the rhythm that I played? I hope so, because that's what we're going to do next. So the fancy rhythm is actually not that fancy. Okay, take a listen to it. Okay, that's all it is. And you can think of the words, let me think now, appropriate words for right now. Quarantini, 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 quarantine time. Quarantini, 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 quarantine time. Can you clap it with me? Quarantini, 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 quarantine time. Quarantini, quarantine. That's all it is. So when we think of when we play it on the recorder, do, they do, they do, they do, they do, they do, they do. Simple, yes? So now let's have a go at that. Two parts. Okay, I'm going to bring another Mrs. C back. Come in two parts. You have a go at playing with the Mrs. C that's going to play three notes, and I'm going to play the other parts. We'll pair those two up together and we'll see how we do. And then if we want to get really fancy, you can learn the extra part. Okay? And if you don't, you can stay with the two-note part. And if you're struggling with the rhythm, which you might be a little bit, if you're struggling with the rhythm, you can stay with the longer notes. All right, so you've got three options there. But let's start with trying the quarantini, quarantini, quarantini rhythm, okay? So this Mrs. C is going to be playing the three-note part, okay? Have a go with the rhythm. Remember, quarantini, 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 quarantine time. Quarantini, 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 quarantine time. Let's give it a go. 1, 2, ready, go. How did you do? So in the next little bit, we're going to add in, if you're ready for something harder, then join in with the next thing that's going to be a little bit trickier, okay? If not, that's okay. And you can stick with your part and still play along with the next part. I hope you have fun with it. So here we're going to look at the part that's a little bit harder, simply because it uses more notes. So it's a little bit more to remember. But you're always going to see the notes flashed over my shoulder to help you out to remember which notes. Let's make sure that we can play all the notes that are in this part. We're going to take the rhythm out for now. I know that we learned it in the last part, but let's take it out so we can look at the notes. First of all, the first pair of notes is just A, like we've already learned, and a B, okay? So we just go back and forth between those notes. It's going to sound like this. You try together with me, here we go. How did you do? All right, ready for the next pair of notes. Let's play that together again. 1, 2, ready, go. Let's put the rhythm in. 1, 2, ready, here we go. If you can't do the rhythm, you can just go back and forth between the notes. That's okay as well, wherever you're at. The next pair of notes uses the low D. Remember, we walked our fingers down. Do a visual check that you're covering those holes and then you've got the hole at the back, okay? And we used an E. So for the E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't forget it's your left hand on top. Just do a visual check that you're covering those holes. And we go back and forth between the D and the E. Listen, here it goes. Listen to it first. Ready to try it with me? 1, 2, ready, go. How was that? If you don't want to put the rhythm in, stay with the longer notes, but I'm going to put the rhythm in for those people that do. 1, 2, ready, go. Then it goes back to the A and the B. Ready? Together. Here we go. The next pair of notes, a little bit trickier. The E that we just did, and the F. So look, this hole here is empty. So I switch my fingers. I leave my middle finger down, this finger stays down, and I just switch. Okay, let's try it. Just without the rhythm first. Together with me, here we go. With the rhythm, ready, and we go. How was that? And then it goes to the D and the E again, the same pair. We did them earlier. And then the A and the B, ready? Can you play the whole thing through with me? In fact, let's bring my friend back, because then you can choose your part. You can choose the 3-note part, or you can have a go with the harder part. All right? Let's bring my little friend back. You can choose your part this time. I'm going to play the part that goes back and forth. That part. This Mrs. C is going to play the 3-note part. So you can choose to try the part where we just learned the notes. You can choose to stick with the 3-note part. We're both going to have the notes flashing over our shoulders to help you, okay? You could also choose to take the rhythm out and just play it straight. Or, all right, so you've got lots of choices. Ready to give it a go? I'm gonna put the rhythm in to this part. And I'm going to put the rhythm into that one as well. But you don't have to. Let's see how we do. 1, 2, ready, go. How did you do with that? We're going to bring another 2 Mrs. C's in. And don't forget, you can pick your part. They're all going to have their notes here. Well, most of them will. And let's see how we do. Good luck. Oh dear, there's a lot of Mrs. C's this time. Say hi. Hi. So let's check that we know which Mrs. C is going to do which part. Okay? This Mrs. C is going to do the part that goes back and forth between 2 notes. This part. That part. This Mrs. C is going to do the 3-note part, the one that we've covered today as well. Okay? And this Mrs. C has got the fancy-wancy recorder out. But I'm playing the 2-note part. Remember the one we did last week? Without the rhythm. And I'm going to show off, because that's what I do. Got it? So we are all going to have the notes flashing over our shoulders. No. Well, not the awkward one. There's always an awkward Mrs. C. That's the awkward one. She's not going to have that, okay? Are you ready? 1, 2, here we go. Should we do it again? Don't forget, you can take the rhythm out if the rhythm's tricky for you. No problem at all. Maybe this time you want to try a different part. Up to you. 1, 2, ready, here we go. How did you do? More than anything, what I hope is that you've had fun with this today. I know I've most certainly had fun making it for you. We're all going to say goodbye now to you, okay? And we hope you come back to Mrs. C's Virtual Music Room next week. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll do something. Take care, stay well, stay healthy, stay home. And we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
I miss you guys, I really do. I miss you too.